Classic Hazbin, undermining its plot and world building for the sake of a joke. When I made my Safe for Work Devil video, a contention with one of my points was the idea that the demons can't permanently kill each other, so the reporter going around saying he killed his wife was definitely killing my vibe. Season 2 is out, and the fans and content creators cried out in joy. And you know what? It started out pretty well. Charlie dealing with the grief and guilt over Pentious' death, and all the sinners only joining because they want to kill angels, both of which coincide to make it harder for her to deal with either. It's good stuff, but it's also over before the first episode is even over, and it kinda has me wondering what they're gonna be doing this season. Because I really hope it's not more of the same of season 1. Once again, the entire premise of this version of hell being a punishment for sinners is undermined by how much none of them give even the slightest shit about trying to leave. But that's an ever-present problem with the show. At this point, it's just consistent character writing. Vaggie wants to change her name. Much like Lila, I'm probably not gonna stop calling her that, but it does make me curious about the idea that Adam named her and how heaven even works. Like, was she human? We also get introduced to a new character named Baxter who shows up to study the idea of redemption. Stop giving me hope, show. Much like the denizens of hell, I don't really believe in you. Anyway, I hope he doesn't just exist to make jokes about how he isn't a replacement for Pentious, who isn't even dead. I mean, Emily pops in at the end to tell Charlie about it. A development that I was watching while thinking, wow, this only doesn't cause a massive shift in everything in hell if everyone who she tells about it thinks she's crazy and hallucinated the whole thing. And then there's the Antagonists. I can't lie, I think this show wasted Adam as a season 1 antagonist. I just don't feel excited for Vox. The idea that I should in any way take the possibility that an overlord in hell could threaten to attack heaven and become God strikes me as something that further makes it harder for me to believe in this world, unless I just go with my interpretation that these are actually just 2 alien planets and not heaven and hell, because the real appeal of those places is the interplay of morality. So ending season 1 on the battle to kill invading angels was odd. But I guess it's predictable considering season 1 wasn't that interested in the interplay of morality either. The premiere bringing up Angel Dust therapy, the prospect of Charlie being his therapist makes me laugh. Almost makes me hopeful we'll get something more about that. I'm excited to find out what kind of life he led on Earth from the show instead of people telling me about something Vivzipop apparently said in a live stream. I swear to God, so many people know so much about the show without it actually telling them. Where was I? Oh, right, the Vees. Like, I kinda like the speedrun of picking someone up, turning them into a celebrity, using her up, then throwing her out on the streets once she's no longer useful, that the Vees do in their song. And I'm not particularly interested in a heaven-hell war. I want to see how they spin a cult around Vox, but I don't particularly care for him, I guess, trying to dethrone God. I guess what I'm saying is I don't buy the hype. My point is, I can get into the idea of the Vees as a threat, especially given the evident rocky relationship they have with their control freak leader, who I would be shocked by if he doesn't betray them at some point. But it's the scale of the potential threat they apparently hold that, I don't know, I'm just not swallowing it. But I don't think the show is willing to scale back from War with Heaven as established in season 1. I mean, it's possible the show will win me over. Things I've disliked even more have done so. It's just not gonna be easy. After you've beaten Heaven in a fight and killed Adam, you can't exactly go lower to dealing with some jackass cult leader trying to get all the assholes of hell to follow him. God, Lucifer is so fucking useless. Even if you are writing Vox as a more serious antagonist than Dickmaster. I mean, who else is there for them to fight? Sarah?
I'm known as the Speaker of God. Oh.
Wait, what? Oh, right, a second episode. Let's look at that.
What is all this gibberish?
It's gonna be a long night.
My first impression of the angels at Pentious' trial was, oh god, there are more of them. I thought the random demon royalty that exists for some reason were bad enough. Pentious' trial was a real up and down. Honestly, mostly ups. The part of me interested in the character writing thought Heaven was put in a pretty interesting dilemma. They are unknowingly subject to the vengeful desires of people they did not know they'd been slaughtering, and now it seems that redemption is possible on top of that. Sarah goes in wanting to bury her head in the sand, but fortunately, Emily won't let her. Lute is there to pretend that Adam's death is the first stone thrown in this conflict. The hypocrisy is just radiating off her like stink lines. Abel is there. I am prepared to be disappointed. I mean, he looked cool with Adam's mask, can't wait to see the people of hell react to that, and this is gonna make Lute crash out even harder, but I just feel like I'm gonna be disappointed if I dare have any expectations. Him sitting next to the thing that's allegedly Saint Peter doesn't help. Anyway, the Speaker of God shows up and finally gets them to get to the point of figuring out why Pentious is there, and his story of witnessing Jack the Ripper's first kill and doing nothing to stop him actually got me. And it gives some explanation of his redemption, getting past his sin of inaction and doing something selfless to help people. Though, admittedly, the impact is softened by the fact it was specifically people he knew he was helping instead of strangers like the dead woman, but you know what, I'll allow it. It's honestly pretty good. I wish it was in season 1. I cannot lie, I was so much more interested in how the Heaven plotline was unfolding. Pentious' redemption has created an interesting conflict that could only really happen in a show like this. God himself, or his speaker anyway, pretty much came down from heaven and said, "This soul has been redeemed." And Sarah and Lute take opposite stances on whether or not they believe it. Sarah has to deal with the magnitude with which she was wrong, and Lute is in pure denial and would rather believe that all of heaven and the very concept of fate itself has been deceived than to give up on trying to avenge Adam. We also get a glimpse of Lilith, who's just chilling in heaven, ignoring her family. Hotly. Vivzy Pop is truly branching out her subject matter. I don't think she's ever written about mommy issues before. So, after the trial, Emily leaves to help Pentious settle in, but he wants to see his friends. But turns out, it's as impossible to leave heaven as it is to leave hell. These guys are either really bad at this, or Pentious is the only person to ever come to heaven that wanted to see someone who wasn't there. Which is impossible. Then again, I'm pretty sure no one in hell being interested in redemption is equally impossible. Okay, so Hazbin's heaven is kind of what you'd expect from the opposite of its hell. Just a city full of generically nice things. Honestly, boring. Like, if someone in heaven wants enriched uranium, I think they should be able to get it, not just sugar and unicorns. It's probably an intentional flaw with the place. I doubt this is the kind of show that would portray heaven as completely unproblematic. I say, as if it hasn't had heaven go into hell to genocide people who it in some way thinks are innocent, even if they are definitionally not. This isn't even in the script. I just read unproblematic and thought, wait, hasn't heaven been massacring people in hell every year? I was disappointed until Emily created the Egg Boys for Pentious, at which point I got very interested again. Because this kind of heaven is supposed to give you what you want, and that was an interesting moment. I'm also wondering if the "no one is addicted to crack" line in the song might be a sign that you can get high without negative effects. Seems unlikely considering how much of Angel's redemption involves going clean of drugs. Heaven is just so sanitized. Seems odd for the place Adam and Lute live in. That being said, I think I'm more interested in these guys than whatever the hell's going on in hell. You know what? I've changed my mind. Vox, do something. Preferably something that would challenge these idiots on a personal level. I'm not entirely sure I get Sarah's plan with locking down heaven though. They didn't even try negotiating. Would it really be that easy for hell to invade heaven? Maybe I'm overestimating the difficulty of Vox's mission. I've enjoyed episode 2 far more than I enjoyed episode 1, and I think it's because Charlie was kind of carrying all the conflict in the hotel, and Vox was doing it outside the hotel, and they weren't really doing anything to grab the attention. Meanwhile, the female heaven characters are all dealing with the fallout of redemption and the many genocides and scrambling for a place to land. I really have no idea where we're going next, but you know what? I think I might actually have hope God damn it, maybe redemption is possible. Is it just me, or was there less swearing in these episodes than I've come to expect? Shout out to my patrons and channel members, Abe, Skyman, Technopark, and Jarg Evolved. Tell me your thoughts in comments below, and while you're at it, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, and check out my channel for more videos and hype if you want to. Thank you, and good day.